more than 100 years after the birth of Sakyamuni. With the expansion of Buddhism's spread area and changes in social conditions, and because the Buddhist classics at that time relied on oral transmission, therefore, Buddhists in different regions have different understandings of precepts and teachings. On this basis, the second great conclusion of Buddhism was carried out. This led to the gradual division within Buddhism. For the two factions of Theravada and Mass, history calls it a fundamental split. Buddhism thus entered the Buddhism period, and the Shangswa Buddhism advocated strict adherence to the original teachings and precepts. The popular ministry advocates the development of doctrine and the relaxation of some commandments. According to Xuanzang's translation of the differential Zhonglun Luan, Theravada is divided into 8 divisions. The popular department was divided into 10 departments. The theories of these factions are basically the same, just the area is different. However, Theravada Buddhism's records of the division of Buddhism are inconsistent. It can be seen that there are also some differences in the relationship between tribes and inheritance. In Indian Buddhist philosophy, the most important sect is the branch of Theravada, says Sarvastivada and Prasadhisattvas. The internal differences between the popular ministry and Theravada ministry are mainly reflected in religious practice, religion, ideals, and philosophical theories. Because the popular ministry advocated relaxing precepts, he was expelled by Theravada. Popular schools tend to exalt the image and personality of the Buddha. Theravada believes that Buddha is a historical figure. In terms of philosophical theory, Theravada believes that spiritual phenomena and material phenomena are real. The human soul is also inherently pure. The Ministry of Public Affairs only admits that it is real now. The future and the past have no substance. At the same time, the human mind can be purified in the future. From the perspective of religious practice and religious ideals, the mass ministry had a profound influence on later Mahayana Buddhism. From a philosophical and Buddhist perspective, the theory of the popular school has many origins and relationships with the later Mahayana sky sect. And from the evolution process of Theravada precision step, also influenced by the Mahayana sky sect. Then it developed into Dashang Yozong. Around the 1st century AD, Mahayana Buddhism emerged in India. A historic split occurred between Mahayana Buddhism and Theravada Buddhism. During the development of Mahayana Buddhism, and evolved into Madhyamaka, Buddhism, Kongzong, and Yoga schools, sects within religious sects within sects within sects, advocating observation of issues to be in line with the mean. The founders of the Sai Madhyamaka school are Long Shu and his younger brother. The major Buddhist sutras, the 2 main sutras of the Dajjang Sutra, and the 100 discourses of the Buddhist Sutra are the representative theoretical works of this sect. 4th to 5th centuries AD, Mahayana Buddhism evolved into Yogacara, became the mainstream of Buddhism at that time. Yujia means correspondingly, refers to various methods of practice to observe the truth of Buddhism. The founders of the Dashang Xing sect are 2 brothers, Wu Wu and Shi Qin. They regard sutras such as the Deep Secret Sutra and the Yoga as their main classics. During the development of Yogacara, it is further divided into early Yogacara and late Yogacara. In the later stage, the world sage in the Yogacara sect is the Lijiang Nagarjuna of Xuanzang, a Buddhist monk who traveled to the west to seek Dharma in the Middle Dynasty, at the Nalanda Temple in ancient India. Opposed the theoretical views of certain sects of Buddhism. The Madhyamaka school of thought believes that everything has a cause, so there is no confidence in everything. That is the theory of emptiness of the aerial view school. It is based on the basic theory of Buddhism. Yuan Shi said. Therefore, the Madhyamaka school is also known as the Mahayana sky sect. The Yogacara school inherited the emptiness thought of the Madhyamaka school. However, The statement that everything is empty will lead to a theoretical crisis in Buddhism and even threaten the existence of Buddhism itself. Then, the Yogacara school proposes that all things are changed by consciousness. That is to say, all things are affected by the reality of all sentient beings. Both the PR school and the Yogacara school diverged in the process of development. Different factions formed. At the same time, there was a tendency for the two sects to merge. By the 8th century AD, Omote merges the theories of the two sects, founded the Madhyamaka school of yoga, the river that truly realizes the Mahayana Buddhism and emptiness Buddhism. The emergence of Mahayana Buddhism. Following Buddhism, the second great division within Buddhism, looking at the entire history of Indian Buddhism. It was the largest split in history. Mahayana and Hinayana can be used as nouns. It can also be used as a verb to express Buddha's chariot or carriage. It means riding on Mahayana Buddhism. Accused Buddhism of Buddhism, just seeking personal liberation. So it's Hinayana, and claims to be the one who saves all sentient beings. So it is Mahayana. But Buddhism does not recognize itself as Hinayana, consider themselves to be Orthodox Buddhists. And criticizing Mahayana Buddhism is not Buddhist orthodoxy. Its teachings are also fabricated. Think that Mahayana is not the teaching of the Buddha. Actually, Mahayana Buddhism and Hinayana Buddhism are not absolute opposites. Mahayana Buddhism was developed on the basis of Buddhism. But Mahayana Buddhism and Hinayana Buddhism do have very different theoretical and spiritual pursuits. Regarding the Buddha's view, Theravada Buddhism believes that Sakyamuni is the enlightened one and leader. Mahayana Buddhism regards the Buddha as a superhuman being. Theravada Buddhism advocates strict observance of precepts. Away from family and society, liberation is achieved through spiritual practice. Mahayana Buddhism believes that life problems cannot be separated from society. And seeking liberation, we should face and understand reality. The Buddhist world seeks liberation in reality. Theravada Buddhism takes Buddhist philosophy to its extreme, reached the peak of religious theoretical thinking. Can be said that basically marks the completion and end of Indian Buddhist philosophy.